Humanity, DTN, Living Life. I'm Tex. No one's in a unit behind me. 2025. Yeah, welcome to the new year. Yeah, I'm putting this out a little bit into the new year, which will be February. This will actually also celebrate our third year doing this. And in 2022, made a video about coming to this. 2023 did a video in reference to doing this job. 2024 did a reference to coming to this job. So let's do another reference to this job. 2025. Okay. This job is negativity. We're going to tell you all the crap, bull ass, that you go through in this job. Why does this job have a revolving door? One, people do not understand what is expected in this job. Okay? Wait a second. What do you mean one? Don't you really hate it when people say one is this, and then they never tell you what number two is, or number three is? Number two is BS. Alright. So, not the top reason people don't like this job. The top reason why you can't do this job. The top reason why people quit this job. Happens to be that they're not used to leaving home. Okay? So, as you guys, if you know me, if you watch my videos, you know I digress and I go off on other topics and blah, 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 and then always come back, or try to always come back to the topic. But one of the things I will point out, who is Tex? Me. You know me. You know about me. That nice little beard going here this year. Yeah, if you know me, you know that I shave my beard and go bald and everything, usually somewhere about the end of February to end of March or April, that area, and then wait for a whole another year before I shave again. And this is how much it grows in a year. I'm thinking this year I'm going to leave it off. I know I won't grow anything here, but yet, or very little here, let's just put it that way. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it alone all year and see what it looks like next year. Let's see here. Yeah, see if it can come down a little bit further. I don't know. We'll see. Who am I? Well, you could ask either one of my exes, and they can tell you. I don't have emotions. I don't show emotions. I don't cry very easy. I don't laugh very easily. If there's something that really has to trigger the laugh, I smile. I try to. Oh God, that was ugly. Yeah, but I am the person that has very little emotions, even though I have sensitivity towards other people. Okay. I was raised to always take your shoes off and put their shoes on before you do something. And maybe I don't follow that all the time. Okay? But then there's sometimes I don't follow it because of a reason. No, I want to hit home with what I'm saying. So I'll be harsh, I'll be cruel, I'll be directive. But yeah, so, and I've been told I'm very directive. I'm very forceful on my words, which I can't apologize for, but I can't apologize. I don't mean them to be that way, so I do apologize for the way they come across, but sometimes I do mean for what they mean. or I always mean for what they mean, but sometimes I don't mean for them to be as harsh. So, yeah. The thing of it is that that's who I am. So the emotions part is the key here, which happens to be is understand that you are able to go and do something with minimum supervision, and you are able to really blank out the jerk driver next to you, the pain in the butt driver in front of you, and the loved one behind you that's following you. Now, you don't blank that person out, but at the same time, you take and understand your responsibility is right here in this vehicle or the vehicle you're towing, and you're getting it from point A to point B. Excuse me. So that is the goal behind this, and some people can't get to that. That Volvo came so close to me, oh no! Okay. It didn't hit you. Live on. Keep going. It didn't make you swerve. Live on. Keep going. You didn't slam on your brakes. Live on. Keep going. If you did slam on your brakes and you still can keep going, keep going. Jiminy Christmas. It's part of this job. So those are some of the things that people just don't comprehend. That this is a job, and I won't say it's thankless because it's not. You have to constantly be aware of every single rear view mirror, every single thing out in front of you. What that car is on that ramp over there coming down, where's it going to end up? That truck right behind them, where's that guy going to end up? What speed is one doing versus the other? All those things. You need to know. You need to be able to calculate and see and say, oh, I need to move a lane over. And before anybody comes across and says it's common sense, here's my digression again. Common sense is only things you've been taught. Whether it was taught from one person or you learned on your own, it is things that you have been taught. That's common sense. So when somebody says, don't people have common sense? Well, it depends if they were taught that. Did you know a human being doesn't know it's cold outside if there's snow on the ground if they've never experienced it or heard it or know anything about it? Think about that. If you was raised with never knowing the word snow, if you were raised with never knowing anything about the climate of snow, how would you say that walking outside bare-ass naked in the snowstorm would be stupid? How would you say that that would be common sense if you didn't know? And yes, people say, well, it's common sense because you know it. Well, how do you know it? You were taught. So knock off the common sense crap. Some people need to be explained. As my wife says, mansplaining. It's one of the things that us men do many times, mansplaining. Seen it on a TV show, I'm not sure which one. But yet, right after she seen that, she said, that's you! She pointed right at me. That's you! Mansplaining. And I do. I think it's more towards me talking out loud so I comprehend what I'm actually doing or what I'm thinking, and therefore it's mansplaining, but at the same time, it's mansplaining. When women do it, it's just griping. No. It's just nagging. No, it's not that either. Oh, I'm going to get slapped for this one. Anyway. Yeah, my wife's in the unit behind me. She can't hear me. When she watches this one, boy, am I going to get slapped. Alrighty. But yeah, so driving happens to be something that you cannot have emotions in. Okay? You can't have those outrageous emotions and no, have that squirrel effect. Alright? No, you can't drive along and say, Bucky, okay, let's go stop. No. You've got time frame, you've got to be point A to point B. Okay? Fewer times you stop, more times on the road you are. More times on the road you are, the more you make. Okay? You're not making money unless the tires are rolling. Those wheels have got to go around and around on the bus, alright? Therefore, you keep going. It's sprinkling. Something that me and my wife do all the time. I see sprinkles. Alright, so with that being said, I have hit the point of money. People don't realize how you calculate money in this job. Alright? We're going to throw out there $1 a mile. First thing you got to think of is your expenses to what you're doing is usually somewhere around 40%. So if it's $1, it's 40 cents that you're taking off. So that means you only made 60 cents. 60 cents a mile. Alright? Now, those expenses cover the fuel, cover your insurance, cover all the different calculations that go into that. Alright? So that's where you're sitting at. That's your profit. 60 cents. Then you got to deduct your living. Your living is usually always 30% of what you do, what you make. So therefore, $1, that means you got sorry, but yet one thing I dislike about Dodges is their cruise control. A vehicle can fly by you, he's nowhere near you, but the cruise control will actually sense him or sense the wind current or sense something, and all of a sudden it turns itself off. I hate Dodge's cruise control. But in either case, yeah. So changing lanes here. I have to make sure I'm clear on all sides. The thing of it is that 30% is your cost of living usually, so therefore, no, you figure 30% of the dollars, 30 cents, so you take that 60 cents, now you only cut it down to 30 cents out of it, now you only made a profit of 30 cents a mile. And that's for you to do all the other things in life with. Alright, so for every mile you roll, you made 30 cents. There's a trick to that. Let's say you rolled 500 miles that day at 30 cents. That's $300. You made $300 for that day. Okay? We're on our way to Albany, to Alabama, and Gulf Breeze, Florida. Total of 700 miles. So let's just say 1,000 miles. Let's say we were going all the way down into Ocala, Florida, and there's 1,000 miles. That would be a 2-day trip. 1,000 miles, 2 days. For us, 3 days. 3 days. So 1,000 miles that on profit of 60 cents, that would be $600 for 3 days. Okay? That'd be $200 a day. But it doesn't stop there. This is where people make the wrong calculations. It does not stop there. We're looking at 2 days travel back. Why 3 days down and 2 days back? Because 2 days down happens to be is that we're driving units that don't have the miles per gallon that the car does going back. So we stop less on the car going back, and we can also travel for the entire 10 hours because I'm the one driving. My wife's driving back there. We don't drive an entire 10 hours in a day. We drive usually around 8 hours. Okay? That's her point where she starts getting grumpy. We hit 9 hours, she's really into the grumpy stage, and I don't want to deal with upsetting her or having her in that grumpy stage. Okay? So to keep her on the happy side, I stop at 8 hours. And if she watches this, she'll understand that. Alright? But the thing of it is that you got to understand how you're going to drive. Got 11 hours? Yeah, you can do it in 2 days. Let's say 2 days. What's for your benefit? Say 2 days. That's going to be $300 a day that you make. But does it stop there? No, it doesn't. That means you got to go back. That means you got 2 days going back. Well, that $300 a day just now became $150 because you're not making anything going back. Are you thinking? Did I trigger a thought there? Your tires are not rolling. You're not making money. So you got to take the money you just made and spread that over when you're not making money. Okay? So the object is to drive out in a unit and then get another unit to drive back or to cover some parts of that part going back. It's like we're going to Gulf Breeze. When I noticed there was a unit that was sitting in Ocala, Florida, we could have went to Ocala, Florida, I'm coming over. Thank you. There's a vehicle on the side of the road that was taking care of stuff. So this is what I'm talking about. You got to pay attention to everything. I seen a vehicle coming up on me, but I wanted to make sure he seen that my blinker said I was going over to his lane. And once I seen his blinker go on, then I continued on. So he seen, I seen, we are all seen, and we all seen happy together. Okay. But in either case, so I seen a unit going back from Ocala, Florida, all the way to Wakarusa. I was on the phone calling in. And of course, my dispatcher was not available, but yet I just hit one for whatever dispatcher I can get and got one. Okay? There, however, I got the dispatcher that no more than one phone call before me just gave out that job. It had not been coming off. It had not come off the board as of yet. Okay, so that's the key. You've got to find something going back to make money. So therefore, you're making money the entire time. All right. Now, in drive away, that becomes more difficult than in tow away. But to help you in drive away, that becomes easier if you have a CDL. Now, what's the CDL for? CDL happens to be is that it allows you to drive bigger units. All right? One of the biggest things about this is that some people say, well, just go out there and get you a Class B CDL. Well, I hate to tell you this, but most of the companies, and I'm not talking about just the one I drive for, Horizon, but most of them, Horizon, Bennett, Indiana Transport, all of them, they ain't going to let you drive very much, even with that Class B. You still don't get to drive some of the bigger things. It really does limit you. Okay? And they really don't look at that Class B. You've got to have a Class C, or Class A, Class A, CDL. All right. Now, with that being said, getting my windshield wipers on because it's starting to rain now. The CDL will increase your pay by 10% on average. Okay? So you won't make a lot. If you have to go out and spend $5,000 to get a CDL, you could almost bet that you're not going to make that money up. Like I said, 10%, and you're figuring, let's say 200 miles, $200 a day, that's $20 a day extra to cover that CDL. And we're talking $20 a day, that's $100 a week. And we're talking $5,000 for a CDL. I know some places are cheaper, but yet I'm just throwing it out there what I've checked into where I'm at. 5,000. You're looking at $100. That's going to take you 50. That's here 100. 100. It's 10 times for 1,000, so that's 50. Yeah, 50. That's going to take an entire year just to pay for the CDL before you can see a profit from it. Okay, but you can see a profit. And here's where that becomes all voided right there, and it becomes even higher to 20%. Is that now you're able to actually make money going back. Okay, a lot more often. There's a lot more return routes than there is outgoing routes on CDL. So you can actually make a little bit more money more often. Okay, that's where the change comes in. So you will end up paying for your CDL usually within about 6 months to 8 months. Okay. The pluses to CDL does give you a lot more. It will make you money. It is a good benefit, and if you can do it before you come here, it'll be a lot easier, because once you get here, it's a lot harder to take off to go do the CDL than it is if you do it before you get here. Okay, so that's where that sits at. Now, in towaway, this is all drive away. In towaway, you have other features that can help you make money. This place has a revolving door that so many people come and leave. So remember that. If you can hang out and make it past a certain time frame, then you're a little bit more on the, I don't want to say you're looked upon by the company as a better employee, because you're not. All right? They look at all their employees equally. But at the same time, you're also going to have your name that's going to be known, saying, hey, call so-and-so, see if they're available. Okay? Because you've been here long enough that your name now is circulating amongst dispatchers and other people that will actually say, hey, we got an issue with so-and-so, let's see if we can get such and such to do it. Okay? So your name will come up. It has nothing to do with one's a better driver than the other, or one's a better employee than the other. It has everything to do with that you've been there. You've gotten your status quo of your name being known. Okay? Also, to do that, make sure that you have your status quo to where you're willing to take whatever the dispatcher gives you. You don't sit there and argue about every single job, or every other job, or every third job, or every fifth job. You don't argue unless you really have a good reason to argue. Okay? my dispatcher gives me a job and it's 94 cents a mile, I really hate it. Because you're not making money on 94 cents a mile, okay? You're really not. Your profits are down to 15%, 15 to 20%, that's it. You're barely cutting through just to pay for your rent that month, all right? But at the same time, I'll take the 94 cents and he'll give me 2 jobs like that. He might give me 3 jobs like that. And I'll take them, and I may make a comment saying, hey man, you know, you're giving me 2 jobs or 3 jobs of 94 cents a mile. No. But you can actually come back and say on that next one, you can say, hey, let's see if we can get $1.04, $1.05, somewhere around there. Okay? Move it up 10 cents. So that way you can get something. Now you might get a sarcastic reply of saying, oh yeah, I got something that's $1.15 going 110 miles. Really? You really think that's going to make it better? Alright. And they will do that. Don't get me wrong, they will do that. And they do it as a joke, but it's a serious job, it's a serious load, it is true, it is 100% there. But they may say it in a jokingly way, but they do have that job for somebody to pick up. Okay? So, yeah. Make sure that you understand these are some of the things. Okay? Towaway. Towaway, you have a little bit more selections. And I don't know. I'm going to say everything from this point on is an assumption. I cannot guarantee this. I cannot promise this. There is no secret load board, okay? Do not get this confused with there's a secret load board. There is no secret load board, all right? What is on the load board is what's there. Now, in a form, in this job, there's 3 divisions. There's drive-away, there's tow-away, there's multi-haul. In multi-haul, the dispatchers have access to a commercial load board. Okay? That commercial load board does have jobs that Horizon, our company that we drive for, can put a bid on and see if they get that job. Now, if you happen to have access to that commercial load board, and believe me, it's not easy to get because you got to have your own driving company and own affiliate, blah, 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 yak, yak, yak. But yet, if you can get access to that load board and you see a load on there, let's say the load is paying $2 a mile, Horizon can put a bid on it. Now, if I know anything about bidding is usually done with a low and a max. Okay, so they may put a bid on it, and it may come across with a low of $180 and a max of $2, and they get accepted for the $180. Okay. Yep, changing lanes. You know me, I'm paying attention to everything around, making sure every vehicle's in their spot. So 180 is what they get on the bid. That doesn't mean the driver gets 180. The driver gets 80% of that 180. So it'll probably be about 154, 156, somewhere around there. I'm doing all this calculation in my head. You guys know I'm an old man. I can't do that anymore. So yeah, somewhere around that area. So that's what you gotta look at. Okay? That's what the driver's going to get for that load. Now, if that load on that board is for $1, then that means that driver's only going to get it for 80 cents a mile. All right? So, but that's one of the ways that in towaway and multi-haul, they can do that. And I'm saying you can do this in towaway if you know the right people, if you've been here long enough, if you have the clout that says, no, I'm dependable, I'm reliable, I'm always there, I'm always taking whatever they give me, those type of things. Okay? If you're the person that's calling in and complaining about every single load, I got a feeling they ain't even going to try to do it for you. And I wouldn't blame them, because I wouldn't do it for you. Alright? And if you think you would do it for yourself, bullshit. Oh, sorry. Bull ass. Okay? Alright? Point blank, you got to know that people are going to treat you the way you come across. And if you can look in the mirror and say, I would be good friends with myself, and I would do these things no matter how much I complained to myself, how much I was a jerk to myself, I would, yeah. That's where you sit at. That's where the problem's at. Okay. So, in either case, here we go. Alright, get back on track here. The negatives about this job, I'm giving you quite a few of them. Alright? But there's a lot of positives in there too. You can make money in this job. We've been doing it for 3 years. Oh, wait a second. We've been doing it for 3 years, and we have cut our expenses down. We no longer need $6,000, $7,000 a month to survive on. We only need $2,000 to $2,500. So yeah, we survived just fine, and still went on a cruise. Okay, we still went on a 9-day cruise on Virgin Voyages, and I tell you what, here's a little shout out for Virgin Voyages. If there's any cruise line out there, if you can't get like Virgin Voyages with their customer service, then you're out of the game. Alright? We did Carnival the first time. Nope, we'll never do Carnival again. Carnival does not treat their employees with the respect that Virgin does. And it shows. And from what we've talked to so many people on that cruise, a Norwegian doesn't treat their employees like Virgin does. That's the key behind this job. That's the key behind any job, is how do you treat your employees? And that works the same way in transport. And that's the reason why we have enjoyed driving for Horizon and have not gone to any other company. Because we've already heard the horror stories from other employees without us even going there. Okay, you got to remember, Facebook's a wide range of communities. There are so many people out there that will tell you exactly how their job is. They go to work, they make some money, and they go home. They don't go to work to smile. They don't go to work to be crying. They don't go to work to be happy or anything to that effect. They go to work just to make some money and go home. That's it. If that's all your job is, you need to find another career. But that also comes down on the employer. If the employer is the one that's making it life like that, then yeah, it's one of those little things. There's probably so many other things I could talk about in this video. I'm already at 33 minutes. You guys have really hung in there. I really appreciate it. Peace, love, and jelly beans, people. Be happy out there. This is a job that is well worth having if you can enjoy driving. This is a job well worth having if you can enjoy going sightseeing and seeing places. Okay? But it's not a job for everybody. I'm sorry. It's not. I don't think there's one job out there that's suitable for everybody. And this is one of those that isn't. It has a revolving door. There are people that come and go constantly. I feel sorry for some of the people that put so much money into a truck and come here and then realize it's not what they thought. I do feel I don't want to say pity, but at the same time, I do feel bad for them because they put so much into coming to do this. They thought it was going to be something. And it's not. Okay? Like I've said in my videos before, my wife doesn't like to drive as much as I do. So, yeah, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 jobs going out, she may sit back in Indiana and stay at the cabin, and that way she has her relaxation point. Me, my relaxation is right here, behind this wheel. I'm fine. It creates other issues sometimes, but that's a whole nother story in another world. That's just who I am. But this is the key to doing this job. It is a very time-consuming job. There's things I've been wanting to do at the cabin that I haven't had a chance to. And I probably would have more of a chance to if I buckled down and drove a little bit more and put more effort into driving than what I do already. But at the same time, then I'm making this into a job I just go and get done, which is not the thing I want to do. I want to make this a job the words I enjoy. So therefore, I keep it as an enjoyment. Go snorkeling at my locations I get to. Walk on a beach whenever I get to a location. Those are the things that makes this. Okay? So, yeah. In either case, like I said, I'm already now into 36 minutes of this video. Hey, y'all be safe out there. Note that, no, I know that Horizon appreciates you if you're a driver for Horizon. I know Indiana Transport appreciates you if you're a driver for them. Bennett, all of them. They all appreciate you. They may not say it as much, but they do appreciate you. I think, from what I understand, Horizon's the only one that gives everybody a lounge that they can go sit down in and watch TV and free washer and dryers, free showers. So somewhere you can go and clean up and clean yourself up and everything. And no, there's no kitchen there. There is a microwave, but there's no stove or anything like that. But there's a sink and a counter with kitchen sink and things like that. But you can go in there and eat. You just can't sleep there. Don't sleep there. No. That's not a good thing. It's not set up for sleeping or anything to that effect. You can go sit there and relax. I fell asleep there and took a 2-hour nap. Okay, that's acceptable. Okay, I snored and everybody woke me up and said, "Hey, shut up. Sorry. Close your mouth." Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, it's one of those little things. About to drive into Nashville here. Definitely getting off the phone. Peace, love, and jelly beans, people. Y'all be safe. Y'all have fun. Welcome aboard to anybody that's coming there. And my information's always down below. Use me as a reference if you have any questions. Don't forget to hit the like, dislike, like again, and subscribe. And notifications bell. Damn it, keep on forgetting that thing. Alright. Been doing this for 3 years and I still forget to say notifications. Anyway, alright.